everyone, this is Anne. I'm a senior product designer and design consultant, and I'm here to talk about something very near and dear to my heart. It's called gratitude. Gratitude is something that is very important to me because I've personally felt the impact of gratitude in my life. I started practicing gratitude way back in 2019, and I was recommended to do it by a lot of people actually in my life. So some of them were therapists, some of them were friends, some of them were family. And it didn't really occur to me how big of an impact it made until I started reflecting on it lately. So I usually keep a journal with me, or I write my thoughts down in a piece of paper. And it's not something that I do every day. But over time, as I kept doing it, I started to realize that it started affecting me in very different parts of my life. Like, first, I felt more content, I felt calmer, I felt like there was nothing really bad happening around me that I needed to be worried about. In the past, I was more worried about all the things that could go wrong because I have anxiety. So, in the past, I would often feel envy or jealousy. And it usually happens when I'm kind of close to a person. And so I would be in social media, for example, and I would see everyone having the best moments of their lives displayed to me, and I'd be like, I don't think I can deal with this right now because I don't feel happy or don't feel satisfied with what I have. And so gratitude helped me in a lot of these moments. And I think that maybe by sharing my story of how it helped me, it might help you as well. So I have to mention something around gratitude. I really like this Kurzgesagt notebook. So they actually explain the science of gratitude in this particular product of theirs. I decided to buy it just because I'm a very big fan of their brand. And it has all of these cute graphics that you know from them. I think the only thing that I didn't really like about the book is that it is a little bit the contrast is not that good. So as a person that does design, I usually pay attention to things like contrast. So some of the color choices that they have, well, you can still read the text because it's not as dark compared to having white text. It's a little hard to read some of them, but you get pages and spreads like this, and it really explains to you how you're supposed to do gratitude more than what I could have had explained to me by a therapist, for example. I know the science behind it, but this journal kind of explained how you can get better at doing this. So the best part of this notebook is that it's very attractive. It's just that I wish it would lie flat a little bit more. And I don't write in it every day. Sometimes I fill it up with all sorts of notes. And I think I've been using this journal now for 2 years, since 2023. So I've only filled up just a small portion of it. So how does gratitude really work? When I think about gratitude, it's just the idea of you're noticing things around you. You're paying attention to the small details that kind of make the day slightly better. And there could be better ways of explaining it, but for me, this is the simplest way that I would explain it to a child. So let's say that today was sunny. If you just go outside and look at how the sun kind of shines down in front of a plant, or how you can feel the warmth in front of you, you could be thankful for that, for example. That's one way of paying attention to what is around you and appreciating that. So it's the moment of being able to appreciate something nice and reimagining what you felt like during that moment. So even during a bad day, for example, it couldn't have been that the entire day was bad. Maybe it was, but you could still find something that you're grateful for. So for example, when I was laid off, my first reaction was, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? Was there a reason why they let me go? And I already went through this panic mode of like, maybe I'm not worth it kind of thing. But then quickly, because I knew the practice of gratitude, I could already appreciate the things that this would bring me. This would like positively impact my life in the sense that, okay, I have my savings. I still have a roof above my head. I'm living in a great place here in Canada. I have access to employment insurance. I have access to friends and family. They have all reached out to me right away after they learned about the news. And I felt the support around me. So it kind of softened the blow and it allowed me to move forward a bit faster. So another way of like thinking about gratitude is not just in the moments where you're feeling bad, but also during the moments where you're thinking about maybe something not so nice about other people. So I had a personal problem in particular about feeling envy. And at some point in time, I was just avoiding it. So I was avoiding going to social media. I was avoiding, sharing my enthusiasm for the things that my own friends have accomplished. Because I can't feel that joy. I would only just feel like, oh, good for her that they're able to do this. Good for him that he was able to go to all these places and celebrate with his family and whatever. So I would feel really bad because obviously I don't want to feel this way. It's just that this is the way my mind is wired. So part of that is also learning to accept and process the emotions that I'm feeling, which is what meditation brought to me. But I could talk about that in a different video. Essentially, I went to my therapist and I told them that I don't really like feeling envy or jealousy. And they told me to do this gratitude thing and see how it'll affect the way I perceive these things that other people have that I may think I don't have. And it helped me in a lot of ways just because I started to pay attention to the things that I have and I started to compare myself to myself in the past. It's very difficult to stop yourself in that mindset of you have to constantly compare yourself with others just because there will never be a time where you'll run out of people to compare yourself against with. You may be the richest person in the world, but you might not be the best dad or the best person to be around with, for example. And you may be the prettiest woman, but then maybe there's still part of your body or your health or your outfit that you don't like that other people are enjoying. Maybe you're very popular, but maybe you don't feel like you don't have as many close friends. And it's hard because social media kind of perpetuates this idea of everyone's enjoying a lot of things and they're perfect and there's a standard that you have to adhere to. It can get to you as a person and it got to me. I wanted to share that I did step away from social media. I stopped going to LinkedIn, so to Facebook, to Instagram, to Twitter. I stopped reaching out to people. I stayed away from it all just to stop myself from feeling these negative emotions. But when I started practicing gratitude, when I started writing down all the things that I have, being grateful for the things that are with me and in front of me, I started to feel a lot better. So there are times when, downward comparison helps. So sometimes I would think about all the other people who don't have what I have. And it sort of also makes me feel a lot more grateful for the things I'm currently enjoying. For example, at least I'm able to eat 3 times a day. At least I don't have to worry about my safety if I go outside of my home. At least I don't have to live with someone that is going to physically or mentally, emotionally hurt me if I was with them. At least I know that my worth has been validated by many people in the time that I've lived here in Earth. And I'm not homeless or I'm not in any dangerous health situation. So when I'm able to acknowledge all of these things, I can process that, things aren't as bad as I feel it could be. And that my mind is just working against me sometimes. And I also accept that sometimes my mind is kind of weird that way. So I just tell it to Okay, I get it, you're worried. But these are all the examples and things that make life worth living. A misconception about gratitude is that it's just the ability to say thank you. Well, thank you is one way of doing it. So thanking a person for their time, thanking your parents or your siblings for helping you out, thanking your friend for spending time with you. That's also one way of saying gratitude, but that is not all that there is to it. Again, it's more like being able to appreciate the small things that have happened in any given day. And this is like my framework of when you should start doing gratitude. So I think Kurzgesagt kind of explained that in their gratitude journal that you don't have to do it every day, but you do need to come up with a few short lists of what happened to you in a day, and then think about something that you're grateful for that you have in life. So it could be something as simple like, I ate a croissant today, or I took a walk in the park, or I tried to explain something to my boss and my boss understood it. Or something like, I found a piece of paper hiding inside my drawer that had a note about something that I needed to do, which is nice. Or maybe something like, I realized that I have so much stuff at home that I don't really use, and that's more than what other people could probably have. Or that I have a pet or a dog, or if you're like with your partner, maybe you did something nice together today. It kind of is very easy to sort of go through your life and take things for granted. So things like, sometimes people don't have to clean up after you. Sometimes people don't have to be respectful to talk to you. Sometimes, you could be waiting in line for a very long time for something that you need, like healthcare or food or stuff like that. But you also have to pay attention to the little things that make it nice, like just the ability or the idea that you can do these things. Okay, let's talk about how you can integrate gratitude in your everyday life. So again, you could start with thinking of just 5 things. So like 5 things that you remember in a given day that made you happy. So for me today, that would be like, I woke up very sleepy and I was able to wake up at a time that I wanted. And I guess my second piece of gratitude is that there is something very loud outside and they're chopping off the trees and I can't concentrate. But I appreciate that them doing that means I don't have to worry about the trees hitting my place or my balcony. The third thing would be, I appreciate the weather right now. It's a perfect time to go out and I might take a walk. Sometimes it could be very cloudy and rainy in Vancouver, but there are times when the weather is so perfect and the way it makes things pop and makes things a lot more beautiful is something I do want to appreciate. And then another thing would be, I appreciate the food that we had this morning. So we were trying out a certain brand of canned food and it tastes really good. What else? My 5th thing would be that I'm able to record a video like this. So recently I was going through Ali Abdal's $1 foundations course, part-time YouTuber foundations course. I forgot what it's called, but it really helped me in becoming more confident in recording a video like this. I don't have to write a full-blown script, which is what I was doing in the past. And it allowed me to figure out like what was wrong with my current setup. How do I speak into the camera? How do I talk to the audience? And I don't know, it allowed me to figure out like what do I want to do. And then the next thing I would do is like think about the things that I'm grateful for in life. So usually I would write this down in a journal. I also have an app, or well, not an app. It's like it's called Supernote. So it's like I love paper and I love notebooks, but this just really helps me. This tool helps me save on paper, even though I still buy a lot of notebooks and paper. So I have like a template that is called Gratitude Journal, and I just reuse that template. And you could do the same if you have an iPad and you've purchased like a note-taking app. You can just use this as your background template or like a PDF, and you want to write on that PDF using like a note-taking tool. This is kind of like what I would suggest. I got since I'm a designer, I just got a Canva template for gratitude and then repurposed that to something that I actually liked. So let me see if I can find that. So this is my gratitude this is my gratitude journal template, and it's very simple. It's just asking me to write something that I'm grateful for in a day. And I don't know, it works from time to time. I switch between writing on this notebook and writing on the journal that I got from Kurzgesagt. I don't have a real preference. I just grab whatever it is that I have with me, and it sort of helps. All right, so how did gratitude help me as a creative? And this has more to do with the fact that I personally am very competitive, and I used to always compare myself against the peers around me. It's a good trait to have sometimes, competitiveness, because it makes you want to perform better. It makes you want to match up to the people around you. So back when I was in college, I would see all of the talented people around me, and I would think about like, what can I do to become like them? What can I do to make sure that I'm pushing myself to the best of my abilities so that I can lead other people and also become talented in many ways? And this also backfired when, I would feel that envy of sorts. So I had like a bunch of creative people around me. They were illustrators too. And I used to think before that, why am I not getting better at drawing? Why am I not getting better at becoming like a video editor, graphic designer, or whatever? Why am I not earning as much as this person? And it made me very frustrated. But because I started practicing gratitude, I could now think of it more of it as an inspiration. Now that I'm practicing gratitude, I could look at things more objectively. I could utilize the talents around me and not feel threatened by the more talented people that I could easily reach out to. So I would give you an example. I was part of a very big design team when I was working at my previous company, and we had people from Europe and Australia, and for myself I had another coworker in Canada. So the person that I was working with, he's very talented in UI, and so if I was myself in the past, maybe I would think to myself that, oh, I'm not that great in UI. Maybe I need to be better than this person. But really, I should play to my strengths a bit more. Because I practice gratitude, I could see for what is worth that maybe I should just co-design with this person. So I'd utilize his talents for creating a lot of these wonderful mock-ups. Together with him, I can make my work a lot faster. And I would do this with every single person I'd meet. I would recognize the best use of our time. And because I'm not threatened by, their status or their perspective or their talent, then I didn't feel like I'm the smartest person in the room, or that, I have to show them up or I have to be better than them or whatever. It just allowed me to collaborate a lot faster with people. Another way of how gratitude kind of helped me is when I'm not feeling like I'm making progress. So product design is kind of difficult and is in a strange place right now. There is a tech recession. Recently, I just heard from a close person to myself that they went into this conference, and this conference they met a lot of people who said the same thing, that there is an ongoing tech recession, that people who are very talented are not able to get in, so they're looking for other ways to earn their money, like to become a speaker or to do freelance like myself, which is why I'm pursuing YouTube and trying to share my knowledge to other people around me. I was also chatting with someone in LinkedIn who is like in a space where they're considering design. And I've seen a lot of posts on LinkedIn asking like, why is it so hard to get into this industry? I wish someone told me that this industry was this hard to get into. Because like boot camps would always promise you that, you know, this is your return on investment, you'll get a 6-figure salary, easy, and whatever, but it's really not that easy. You need to be really good at your resume, your presentation skills, and your portfolio should be, you know, easy to understand, and you can defend all of these things. And I it could be a topic for another time. Because I have gratitude and I'm practicing gratitude, I can sort of surf through the waves that are coming along. This helps me stay grounded and a bit more focused in what I really want to achieve. In terms of like what I want in life, I also am able to be calmer and not just pay attention to the things that are happening right now. Because I have a journal, I can reflect to the moments that have happened in the past. So these are like golden nuggets of experiences that I could always look back and see that, oh yeah, this thing happened, but I still felt grateful for X or Y. All right, so we've talked about gratitude. I talked about the Kurzgesagt journal. I talked about my own experiences and how I practiced it, and how, you know, how beneficial it is for my work to have access to this kind of technique. And so what I want to do for you now is I want to share that gratitude template that I created in Canva for free, and you will find it in the link in the description below. If you feel like this video has helped you, please feel free to comment down below, and subscribe if you want to see more of this content. Thank you so much for watching me, and hope to see you in the next one.